Hi everybody, Dan Illman here, kicking off the 20-cent Jersey Shore Pick 6 on Haskell Saturday with race number 8. It's the Grade 3 Monmouth Cup. Let's take a look at this field of some nice older horses going a mile and an eighth, including a couple that ran very well in last year's Haskell. New York Traffic just missed by a nose to eventual Horse of the Year Authentic in a super game performance. Dr. Post was third in the Haskell last year as well. They're looking to get back to the winner's circle in the Monmouth Cup. We throw up the Timeform US pace projector. Timeform US believes this pace will be fast. New York Traffic, the 4, was embroiled in a pace dispute in his most recent start, the Grade 3 Salvator Mile. He ran very well. I think he's faster naturally than the 1 Bal Harbor, even with blinkers going on. Bal Harbor, to me, the key to the race is the number 6, that being American Dubai, who ever since being claimed by Robertino Diodoro has shown good speed and has tried to take it to them in his last couple of races. I'm not sure if American Dubai is as fast as New York Traffic, but maybe he can push New York Traffic to fast fractions, and that could set things up for closers and stalkers such as Dr. Post. Bal Harbor, the number 1, has not won a race since 2018, but he's done some very good things in the interim, especially at Monmouth Park. He was second in this very race in 2019, third in this race last year, and he'll make his second start of the form cycle. He ran on the Salvator Mile, where New York Traffic finished second. He didn't perform very well, but it was also his first start in about 7 months, and he very likely needed the race. If you go back in his PPs, he has plenty of speed figures fast enough to win this race. He is Grade 1 placed, and now he gets blinkers for his second start of the form cycle. I would expect him to improve off of his last race, be a little bit closer to the pace than he was in his last race, but he is going to have to put it all together. He's facing a pretty solid group. The number 2 in here is Just in the Nick of Time, and Just in the Nick of Time is riding a 2-race win streak. Let's watch his most recent start over Sloppy Going at Monmouth Going a Mile. Now, this is just a non-winners of one other than. In his first start off the Kent Sweezy Claim, he's very game to win this race. The 5th place finisher would come back to win by disqualification in a $16,000 claimer at Delaware with an 82 buyer. Huge step up in class for the number 2 Just in the Nick of Time, but he did do a lot of running in that last race. He ran fast early to secure the lead, he took pressure, and he battled on gamely. It's likely he's found a home on dirt after racing most of his career on turf, but he's really going to have to step forward against these tougher horses. Night Ops is just a very logical contender. Night Ops is a Grade 3 stakes winner at a mile and an eighth. He won the Prairie Meadows Cornhusker in 2020 and appeared to be a horse on the improve. But unfortunately, after the Cornhusker, he missed a lot of time. And while he hasn't won a race in 2021, he has done very well. Third to the likes of Silver State, currently on a 6-race win streak, including the Metropolitan Mile, in both the 5th season and the Essex. Then this race, a second going a mile and an eighth over Sloppy Going in the Grade 3 Ben Ali Stakes behind Silver Dust, who's just a hard-hitting older horse. After the Ben Ali, Night Ops came back in the Blame, and he ran a good second behind Mighty Heart, the 2020 Queen's Plate winner, who came back to win the Grade 3 Dominion Day over Tapeta at Woodbine with a 96 buyer. Night Ops is in very good form. He goes out for the all-star combination of Brad Cox and Florent Giroux, the tactical speed to sit in behind a fast pace. He is a very logical contender in here, 3-1 on the morning line. New York Traffic is the number 4. Of course, he was second in the Haskell last year. He went off form after that, and Safi Joseph got him back to run a triple-digit buyer speed figure in his first race as a 4-year-old, going 7/8 of a mile at Belmont. Here's the Salvator Mile in his return to Monmouth Park, and he pushed a solid pace all the way around. He eventually is going to make the lead, and it takes a big long shot who rallied from last to get him, a horse that took advantage of the hot pace up front. New York Traffic seems to be rounding into shape as he makes his 3rd start of the form cycle. My one worry about the Salvator Mile is it hasn't come back very strong just yet. 5 horses have run back from that race. None have hit the board with a best buyer speed figure of 89, but New York Traffic certainly has credentials, and that's why he's the 7-5 morning line favorite. Dr. Post was second in the Belmont, third in the Haskell, fourth in the Jim Dandy. You get get the picture, and Todd Pletcher gave him the rest of the summer and fall off so he could grow him to himself as a 4-year-old, and Dr. Post came back swinging at 4, winning the Grade 3 Westchester in his first start this year. He ran in the Met Mile last time out. It was a very tough race won by the aforementioned Silver State, and Nick's Go was also in that race. He finished directly ahead of Dr. Post, and all Nick's Go did in his next start was win the Grade 3 Cornhusker with a 113 Beyer speed figure. The feeling is that Dr. Post is going to improve, stretching back out in distance and getting around 2 turns, and Pletcher gets blinkers and Lasix on this horse. Dr. Post is going to probably get a good trip off of the pace, and he's going to be running in the stretch. I still believe that this lightly raced colt has upside potential. American Dubai is the number 6, and American Dubai last time out finished behind Night Ops in the Blame. He set the pace that day going 1 1/8, and he just got a little bit tired at the end. He's going to get Lasix back on, and the last time he raced with Lasix, he earned a 99 Beyer speed figure, defeating Bankit by the length of the stretch when entered for a $62,000 500 tag. Maybe the Lasix makes all the difference. I am concerned, though, that if he pushes New York traffic early, both could be susceptible late. The number 7 is Bankit. He's a millionaire, trained by Steve Asmussen, and he's had sort of an amazing career if you go back and you look at his lifetime formulator past performances. He was a speed crazy and precocious 2-year-old who liked to do things on the lead. And then at 3 and 4, he became a horse that didn't have a lot of speed and would rally from the back of the pack and was dependent on race and pace luck. And I talked to Steve Asmussen on Thursday afternoon, and he told me that just Bankit's improvement this year has been that all those stakes placings from when he was a 3-year-old and a 4-year-old, they have turned into wins, including this race, the Commentator against New York breds over Muddy going at Belmont. He sat just in behind a slow pace. He got a nice seam in between horses, 3/8 of a mile from home, and he just destroys this field under a mild hand ride from Jose Lascano. And at first glance, you would look at that 105 Beyer speed figure and say, it has to be a mud-based anomaly. But Bankit was going into the Commentator with a lifetime record of 0-5 on wet tracks. It's not like he's some sort of a mud lark. I just think he's feeling very, very good right now, and he's the kind of horse that can adapt to the pace scenario at this stage in his career. And as we take a look at my top selections for this race, I'm curious to see if Bankit and Paco Lopez can do it again. They may be outrun if the pace is very, very fast, but he has shown the ability to rally from out of it, and I just think that Bankit, coming off that very strong performance, albeit on a wet track, is in career best form. I'm going 7, 5, 6, and 4 in a very strong edition of the Grade 3 Monmouth Cup on Haskell Saturday. Good luck.